Now, viewers, we have been tracking this story for you since morning on NewsX. But now, more details are emerging about the dramatic assassination attempt that threw the White House Correspondents Dinner into chaos and forced the emergency evacuation of President Donald Trump, the First Lady, the Vice President, and multiple cabinet officials. What began, viewers, as one of Washington's most high-profile political evenings quickly turned into a full-scale security crisis inside the Washington Hilton Hotel. According to officials, the incident unfolded shortly after 8:30 p.m. local time, just as the dinner program was underway and President Trump was either preparing to speak or already seated near the main dais. Now, more than 2,000 guests were inside the ballroom, including journalists, diplomats, lawmakers, business leaders, and senior members of the administration. When gunfire suddenly erupted near the main screening area outside the ballroom entrance, investigators say the suspect has been identified by multiple U.S. outlets as Cole Thomas Allen, a 31-year-old man from Torrance in California. Now, authorities believe he had been staying at the hotel as a guest, a detail now seen as critical because it may have allowed him to move within parts of the premises before reaching the tighter security perimeter closer to the event. Officials are now examining exactly when he checked in, how long he had been inside the hotel, and whether he had scouted the venue beforehand. The first sequence of events now appears to be this. The suspect moved towards the entrance checkpoint leading to the ballroom level, where the Secret Service and law enforcement officers were screening arrivals. Now, at that point, viewers, according to investigators, he suddenly rushed the security line and opened fire. Reports indicate at least one shot struck a Secret Service officer in the torso area, but the officer's protective vest absorbed the impact and prevented serious injury. That officer is expected to recover. Inside the ballroom, the sound of shots caused immediate panic. Witnesses described screams of "get down" as guests dived under tables and staff fled the room. Security personnel rushed towards the stage and surrounded the president within seconds. Trump, who was seated prominently with other dignitaries, was seen ducking low as agents formed a protective shield around him. First Lady Melania Trump and senior officials nearby were also immediately covered and moved. Trump was then hustled out through a secure route at the rear of the ballroom. Vice President Vance, cabinet secretaries, and other protected officials were separately evacuated in stages as heavily armed tactical personnel took positions across the venue. Some agents reportedly aimed rifles toward entry points, while others locked down corridors and stairwells. For several minutes, viewers, no one inside knew whether there was a second attacker or whether more shots were coming. Meanwhile, outside the ballroom entrance, officers moved quickly to overpower the suspect. Authorities say he was restrained and taken into custody at the scene before he could advance any deeper into the protected area. No civilian deaths have been reported. A search after the arrest reportedly found the suspect carrying a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives, raising serious new questions about how he was able to approach a presidential security zone while armed with multiple weapons. Investigators are reviewing CCTV footage, hotel access logs, witness statements, and the suspect's digital footprint to determine motive and whether he acted alone. Initial indications from officials suggest they are treating him as a lone actor at this stage. Now, in a striking post-incident move, viewers, President Trump later returned to the White House and addressed reporters, praising the Secret Service response and insisting the country would not be intimidated by political violence. He then posted online what he said was CCTV footage appearing to show the suspect running through the hotel before the shooting. Trump also shared an image of the attacker face down on the ground after being detained. The White House Correspondents' Dinner was ultimately cancelled and